fly ball to left field. It is away out and gone. The Dodgers win it 11-10.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Episode 7. We dubbed this one the baseball episode. We basically go through a bunch of the states in the Midwest, and since there aren't a lot of national parks, we decided to hit up a bunch of baseball parks.
Yeah, so at this point in our trip, I had to make a decision on whether we were going to do all 50 states or not, because I had to route our way around the U.S. So once we committed to doing all 50 states, our first stop from South Dakota was going to be Nebraska. So I was looking at what there was to do in Nebraska, and I found this one thing called the Ashfall Fossil Bed State Historic Park. So we spent one night at a state park called Niobrara State Park, and then the next day we drove to the Fossil Bed Historic Park.
It looked fake. There's a lot of animals in there that I've never heard of, and they're like digging them out. It looked like a kid was playing in the dirt. Not a real sight, but I guess it's legit.
Yeah, so it's an active paleontology dig site with a bunch of animals that don't exist anymore, so prehistoric animals. I thought that was kind of neat. Like they had a dog that had a saber tooth, or some just weird animals that I had never, well, they're all dead now, that's why we've never seen them. But yeah, so that was their first thing to do in Nebraska. The only thing that we did in Nebraska.
Yeah, we were there one night.
Yeah, we're just there for one night. And then
checked it off the list.
Yeah. After Nebraska, our next stop was going to be in Minnesota. So at this point in our trip, we were just really tired, so I just needed to find a place that we could just relax. Kory ended up fishing.
Yeah.
Caught a couple of...
Got bluegill, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was nice to just like sit, do nothing, and stay there for 5 days. And it was really strange because we got there on a weekend, and it was so busy. Like we there was no open spot. As soon as Sunday came around, everybody left. It was like a deserted place, like kind of creepy, but
Yeah.
we had the place.
The whole section was just ours in one spot when there were 30 people there before.
Yeah. So we were in Minnesota. We also one thing that I had been missing was a Trader Joe's, because we've been gone for like a month and a half, and like gluten-free goodies non-existent in like Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. I don't think they even really know what gluten-free is, but when we got to Minnesota, I was just like in heaven. We went to Trader Joe's and the Whole Foods, but along with it, I noticed that people weren't as friendly. Hey.
Yeah, people weren't as friendly.
She was like that. like going from all the states up north, everybody was, I don't know, nicer and not in a hurry.
Seems like the higher the population gets, the meaner the people are. So
Yeah.
if there are less people, they're nicer.
Yeah. It was like you were at Chipotle, and instead of the guy asking you like, what can I get for you, he just stood there.
I got my
So
whole order.
nice.
He didn't say one word to me.
It was just a total change from what we had experienced in like the other places.
But along with that, we get places like the gluten-free stops. I remember we had a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
I hadn't had Pop-Tarts in years, but there was a place that made gluten-free Pop-Tarts. Thank you, Riley, for giving us the list of all the places we do it, because that's how we found it.
That was really good. And they had Chex Mix.
Yeah.
Super good Chex Mix.
That was a different place, but yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota had Chex Mix. 2 different stores.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, no, that was both in Minnesota. Do you have more?
Yeah, we went to the Mall of America.
Oh, yeah.
Mall of America is huge. It's like an amusement park inside of a mall. And there's like so many levels. We probably saw 10%, and it was just
Yeah.
it was just, I mean, it's a store, but there's just so much going on inside.
I think growing up, I'd heard of Mall of America, and I thought it was like this amazing place. But it's different when you go as an adult. You're like, okay, it's a mall with a bunch of amusement parks, which I'm sure kids would love.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like different when, for me, it was just different because I'm an adult and I'm like, okay.
Okay. On to the Twins game. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we got to Target Field, and I think they were playing the Indians that day. And it was the first time I've been to a stadium, and since we left Dodger Stadium, like we hadn't done any events like that since we left. And it was cool. It wasn't my favorite of the ones we went to, but it was cool.
It was nice to go to see like the locals. Like I want to get a feel for the city, and I felt like going to the different stadiums, you can kind of get a good gist of who lives there. Yeah.
Is that what you get?
That's all I got from Minnesota.
Okay, from there we headed to not a baseball field, but a baseball destination. Anyone that's seen Field of Dreams knows what I'm talking about. We went to a field on a farm where the outfield fence is made out of corn. It's in a movie. It's kind of popular.
It's in Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh, did I ruin it?
No.
Okay, start over.
Now there's a line where you ask if this is heaven, and
Yeah.
Is this heaven?
It's Iowa.
is this heaven?
I think it's Iowa. I was really pleasantly surprised by Iowa. I didn't think much of it, but it was really, really pretty.
It's all corn.
No, it's not all corn. Like
It's a lot of corn.
it is a lot of corn, but you can get like the whole small town America feel, and like the whole farmhouse, like the silos, and very, I don't know, it felt homey and warm, and like we spent the night at another like small campground, and the camp host was like, "What are y'all doing tonight?" And she told us like all the things that were going on in the small town. And I'm like, it's kind of strange for a big city person to just be like talking to somebody and telling them what's going on for the weekend and inviting us to do it, but I liked it. Anyway, sorry.
No,
So,
fine. As for
Field
the
of Dreams.
Yeah, as for the field, I was expecting just to be able to go and take pictures, and
We did a house tour.
yeah, I mean that's all I was expecting, is that basically the tour and like look here's this, look here's that. But after the house tour, and we got the history behind all that, we just went out and we saw this older couple started to play catch. I'm like, oh, I have a glove, I have a ball. Venus and I could play catch on Field of Dreams field. And then after that, a group from Chicago, a group of like 10 guys, I guess they do this trip every year, they just showed up, started playing. They were actually throwing batting practice, hitting balls into people, just walking and taking pictures of the field. And I thought, oh no, they're gonna hit somebody. So
And it was really neat because it was like from like a small kid to like a grandpa, so it was a whole family thing. It wasn't like professional baseball players or anything. It was so cute. It was so cute to see like the grandpa pitch to the grandkid, and Kory had a blast on it.
I snuck my way in, started shagging balls, worked my way into the infield, started taking grounders, and then after talking to some of the guys, they actually let me hit.
This is like the happiest I've seen him since we left. He was like a little kid running around.
Hit a ball into the corn. It was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a really neat experience.
Maybe this is heaven.
Next to the field, there's also like a little store, and they sell a bunch of like cool shirts and hats and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's a good experience.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Is that what I get for Iowa?
Yep. Kory played baseball with strangers.
And talked to them.
And talked to them. Which is very rare.
Right. So our next stop was Wisconsin. The only thing I remember from there is the game. We went to see
Really?
the Brewers game. Was there something else?
Yeah, we went to a farmer's market.
Oh.
I got myself some Wisconsin cheese.
Yeah, we went to the capital of
Yeah.
Madison. And it seemed like traffic walking traffic. It was only going one way, and you were like,
Yeah.
there's just too many people.
Yeah, again, it was a change from what we were used to in like Wyoming, Montana, and North Dakota, where it wasn't barely any people. Now it was like everybody's just so packed tight, and like it was really hard to buy anything because the traffic was just going, and if you wanted to get out, you had to like shoot out or just stop.
If you pass the one stop you want to go to, you had to go all the way around to get back to it because you weren't fighting the crowd to get back over there.
Yeah, it was super crowded and kind of strange, but yeah.
It's an experience.
Yeah, I got some cheese curds and fresh veggies. I liked it, but
The veggies were good.
Yeah. Okay, so after, is that all you have?
No, I want to talk about the American Family Field.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a nice place to
Yeah.
go. I thought it was, you could see it off the freeway. It has like a dome or a roof that opens and closes. It looked pretty cool from the freeway. And as you walk in, it's nice. And they do a lot of things for the kids out there, like the outfield. There's a bunch of like skills things they can do, like running the bases
Oh,
or
yeah.
pitching, hitting.
Yeah. It was funny because I think there's like an age limit to it. And I remember a guy who was getting in
It
line,
wasn't
and
me.
It wasn't Kory. An older guy like getting in line, getting ready to, I think it was to clock how fast he ran.
Yeah.
And he got to the front of the line and he figured out that they only do it for like 12-year-olds at the oldest.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious, but I'm pretty sure he was embarrassed. But yeah, that was a really good, like, if you have kids to go take the baseball game, totally. Okay, so after that, our next stop was Illinois. I love the Cubs. I loved Wrigley. I loved the fans. We didn't plan on spending a night in Chicago because we weren't really sure how safe it would be in the van. But I think we could have probably done it.
I mean, we paid $60 for parking. We might as
Yeah,
well
it
stay
was
in that parking lot.
ridiculous. Like $60 to park. That.
It's just for the game parking.
But I guess like the big cities, they're pretty much designed so that like they don't make it easy for you to drive to the game because they want you to take public transportation. So $60 is a good deterrent for normal people to be like, I'll just take the public transportation.
Yeah, but
Drop
again,
me off there.
with our van, we couldn't fit it anywhere else. We had to go to this open parking lot. It was our only choice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, navigating big cities in the van is anxiety inducing for Kory, so we try not to do it all too often.
I mean, with that said, though, leaving Chicago was actually pretty cool. Even though it was raining, like I remember just driving and right along Lake Michigan and having like all the city lights and it looked
Yeah.
nice, but we got out of there pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, they also had a lot of really good gluten-free goodies. Big cities will have
Oh,
gluten-free.
before the game, we picked up a gluten-free deep dish pizza.
Yeah. When's the last time you had deep dish pizza?
Last time I was in Chicago.
Yeah. No, I mean for then, like with your gluten issue. Chicago?
Last time I was in Chicago.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. But yeah, and they had a really good cinnamon roll, gluten-free cinnamon roll. Again, Riley, thank you for that list. We had to drive like an hour out of the way to get it, but totally worth it.
Yeah, we had nothing else to do, so
Yeah.
get food.
Yeah, so the only other thing is I noticed for a big city, everybody, at least everybody in Wrigley Field, they were super friendly. Like, apparently sometimes I look lost when I'm lost. And so someone will always like ask me, do you need help? Or, oh, it's that way if you're looking for that. And the fans are really friendly. And I wouldn't mind being a Cubs fan.
So you want to not be a Braves fan?
No, I'm just saying.
It's up to you. You ready to tell Art right now? I'm kidding.
No. Not at all. Okay, so yeah, so that was it. So after Illinois, our next stop, since we'd hit up a bunch of cities, and it was on the way, was Indiana. So I found the Indiana Dunes National Park. So I booked us for like 3 or 4 days there, just to go ahead and relax again, so we don't get too exhausted. And I feel like most of the time we were there, it was raining.
I just remember being windy, and we
Yeah.
took a hike on the dunes, and
Yeah. So basically, the national park is on the.
Lake Michigan.
It's on Lake Michigan. It's not on Lake Michigan, but it's in the banks of Lake Michigan. So one of the things that the lady told us we could do was like a hike. So you just hike through the dunes and then you end up looking at Lake Michigan at the end of the hike and then you come back. Well, that would have been a really good hike except for it was like super windy.
Yeah. My legs are getting pelted with this sand and it hurt, and we were walking the dogs there that same height, so I felt bad for them. We had to pick them up and walk backwards through the sand.
And it was interesting because it's a lake, but since the winds were so strong, it looked like the ocean. They had like
They're waves.
huge waves, which kind of freaked me out a little bit because I'm not a big fan of waves. But it was really, really cool because you can see off in the distance. You could see Chicago and all like the skyscrapers right past the lake. I'd like to go back again when it's not windy and miserable.
Okay, I don't know if it's ever not windy, but it's probably not that strong.
Yeah. I remember watching the news on our phones that night, and I guess the waves are really, really high on the other side in Chicago, and people were just like doing their regular jogging, and then the wave like knocked them down on their butt, and I was so worried that I would like when we did that hike that I would get
Die?
swept away. Yeah. But, and so after that we headed to Michigan because we were going to go see a Tigers game.
To Comerica Park. Yeah. So Detroit, I really wasn't looking forward to this. I thought, it's run down. I hear people are just evacuating. Like, you just hear a lot of bad things about Detroit. And when we got there, we're pleasantly surprised. It's clean downtown. It's nice.
It's a little bit of like an up and coming. It felt that way.
Yeah, it's making a comeback, but
A little
everything
bit
in
like
my mind was just it's run down and not worth going to anymore.
yeah. It kind of reminded me of Long Beach. Like the feel of it.
Okay.
No, like the good parts of Long Beach or the.
No, I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking
Oh.
there's no beach nearby. There's nothing.
Oh, no, but like the feel of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel unsafe there at all.
Oh.
Surprisingly, I feel like there's more homeless people in Kory than there was.
I didn't even see any homeless people there.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even what I was referring to. I just was expecting a lot of vacant buildings, a lot of but they're actually doing like rehab.
Revitalization.
Yeah, there you go. And it's clean. I wasn't expecting it to be clean. I guess it was nice.
Yeah.
The park was nice. I think out of all the stadiums, outside of Wrigley with the history and ambiance and everything, I think I like Detroit out of the 5 we went to.
Yeah, was that the one where they had a bunch of sports memorabilias and?
Yeah, like as you walk around the concourse, there's statues of like all their players and history, and then like little kiosks with little things. And we got lucky. We went there on Miguel Cabrera's appreciation night, and there were like ceremonies for that stuff on the big board. It was pretty cool.
They had a carousel that only had like tigers, so the kids could like.
Oh yeah, there's like a little
ride around.
like a little mini circus in the park.
Yeah.
And instead of horses on the carousel, they're tigers.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So after Michigan, we were gonna head over to see the Cleveland Indians game. But before then, we had some time to kill before the game, and so we ended up going to the Great Lakes Science Center, which I think is probably like a museum for the kids, but it's really fun. It's a lot of interactive.
Well, they had the that dome where you walk in and watch the movie on.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It wasn't great for my motion sickness, and it wasn't great for Venus's future plans because it was about tornadoes, and now she's freaked out about going to like Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah. it seemed like a really cool idea because the screen is like pretty much all around you, but it was really hard to watch.
Yeah,
It was
you
hard
have to
for-
turn your head and stuff, and then when they were filming and driving, I couldn't watch because I was about to throw up.
Yeah,
I didn't take Dramamine or anything, so...
I think it'd be a good place if like they just project like stars or something. But as far as projecting a movie, it seemed not practical.
Yeah, it's probably why it hasn't taken off. They only show 2 movies there, and they've been
Yeah.
there for years, so...
So after we went to the museum, killed some time, we headed off to the Cleveland Indians game.
This was the only time I was able to get a gluten-free beer out of any
He was
park.
so happy.
It's just you go to a game, you want to have a beer.
Yeah.
I don't drink, and it's actually a treat. So
And they had gluten-free goodies for you too.
nachos, not much, but the beer was the
More than what other places offer you.
yeah,
Yeah.
not more, just something.
Yeah. So, so sad. Yeah, and so after Cleveland, our next stop was going to be New York. Because it was going to be around Kory's birthday, and I wanted to hit up Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so the season ended, so we couldn't really hit up any more games.
Yeah.
So we drove up to Cooperstown. It's a little town.
It's really cute. It's a cute town. I like it.
Yeah.
They had this film about baseball showing.
Oh yeah. So as soon as you walk in, they tell you about the film. Just watch the film before you start walking around, seeing all the memorabilia. There's probably 25 people in there.
Sure.
Okay, so anyways, after the film ended, all the men that were in there were crying.
It's true. You could see. Well, I could hear them kind of like sniffling when it gets to the baseball movie. But it was a good movie. I cried. It's not that I'm not a baseball fan, but I'm not a huge baseball fan. But that was a well produced movie.
And it ended with the Dodgers winning the World Series in 2020.
So Kory cried some more.
No! And you know why?
No.
Because there's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball! No crying!
So they have that movie clip. Then there's a section of like memorabilia with baseball cards. Like they have the 3 most expensive cards on Earth in there. I think I got a picture of them all. The Honus Wagner card, the Mickey Mantle rookie card, and a signed Mike Trout card. And
Hey, Mike Trout.
she doesn't know. But yeah, then they had a section for the previous winner of the World Series. So there's a whole section with the Dodgers and Rays, like playing in the 2020 World Series. That section might stay because of the 2020, how everything was different for everyone playing in the same stadium.
Yeah.
So they also had this hallway that had a bunch of lockers, and each locker had each team with different memorabilia for each. It's not just like, oh, here's their ring from when they won the World Series, or here's like their records, or it was like pieces of actual like game like memorabilia. So each team has their own, so it's pretty cool. And then obviously there's the Hall of Fame plaques where you walk down the hallway, and each plaque of all the people that have been inducted to the Hall of Fame.
That's cool.
Yeah. The one thing I took from that is a lot of the players from today don't look like the person that's on the plaque. So I'm wondering if the people, like the images of Babe Ruth and Honus Wagner and all these people, if that's what they actually look like. Because
You didn't think it looked good?
no, if you saw Pedro Martinez, you would not think they look like Pedro Martinez at all. And then there's another hallway with just art. So there's like Norman Rockwell stuff, and then towards the back there was a hallway with all the baseball movies.
Oh.
And like there's a list of every single movie and what year it came out. So there's a bunch of movies we need to watch.
I just remember watching a video in there, and they talk about how the rules of baseball have changed over time. And like I guess way back when, the batter can ask for whatever pitch they want, the pitcher has to pitch it to them. It's like that. That would change everything.
If you know what's coming, it's gonna definitely help you.
And then the other thing I liked was because I liked the movie League of Their Own, so they actually had like a little section for the women of baseball. That was kind of neat.
There's a bunch more we probably missed because there's like a section for the Negro Leagues, there's a section
Oh,
for
yeah.
like Hispanic
Yeah.
players and all that. Like,
Yeah, that was a really good section with the integration in baseball.
so, is that it?
That's all I have.
Alright, that's it then.
That's it.
We'll see you next time.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.